just for getting that last minute goal.
Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson after the Saints have ended a 7-match run without victory after a 3-2 victory after Welling United in National League South. A much needed result, Ian, and a bit tense at the end there when Welling got one back right over death in added time, but it was too late for them to really change the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, very satisfied in what we had to do today. We got the job done. There's little patches there where I felt we looked a little bit nervous. I felt we started really sharp, went 2-0 up, could have got 3-0 up, and the game's dead and buried. And then from nowhere, they've got a scrappy goal again. Something that we've been doing week in, week out for the last couple of weeks. And then you think at half time 2-1, it's going to be a title game. But I felt we managed the game really well in the second half. We started to keep possession of the ball better than what we'd done. Got 3-1 out, and I felt we managed the game really well. We still keep sort of trying to try and get a fourth goal in, and we should have just probably kept the ball in the corners a little bit and took the sting out of the game. And then we get undone with one straight ball again, and we just managed to do what we've done probably for the last 6 games, which is to concede 2 goals. And as we said on Saturday and the previous week, at the moment we have to score 3 goals to win a game of football. But luckily enough today we got the 3 goals, and we managed to pick up the 3 points.
We mentioned 2 goals there. We went into the lead. We've been chasing games lately. 2 goals from Charlie Walker put us 2-0 up inside 20 minutes. His first goal to the club. A welcome 2 goals.
Yeah, and as we said all along, he got, I think it was 15 or 16 goals in the conference last year, so we know what we got when we brought him in. I keep saying it week in, week out. We need to get more games into to him. We need to get more games into Jamie Curriton, but unfortunately, we can only play one at the time. I went with Sam Merson and Charlie today. It was unfortunate for Jamie because, as I said before, he's got 5 in 5 for us, but I felt it was the right combination in the team he was playing against, and thankfully he got 2 goals. I felt the first one was a great finish because it was going away from him, and the second one, as soon as he's one touches, controlled it in the box, he's put it in the bottom corner. We've also had Sam Merson's header early on. The keeper made an absolute worldie from nowhere, great save, and we've had 3 or 4 real good chances before they really caused us any problems. And out of the blue, one sloppy goal again. We didn't defend it properly. We didn't defend the first cross. And I think speaking to James Russell in there now, he felt he shouldn't have come. He's actually tried to close the fella down, but he probably should have stayed at home, and it's gone off his legs through his legs.
You mentioned how we could have had more, and for a while, for about 20 minutes or so, either side of those goals, we did attack with confidence, almost like a good old days, shall I say. But as you say, they got that goal back. We were edgy. We were giving the ball away. Confidence maybe a bit fragile.
I think it would do after not winning in the previous 6 games, and. We've had spells in all of those games where we've played very, very well, but we've also had spells in them games where we've been poor. And today we started off bright, which is what we said. We got the 2-goal lead, which is what we wanted, and I just felt we could have really just controlled the game. And then we started to give the ball away cheap. We got a little bit nervous. They got more possession. The game got strung out. We didn't hold the ball as well as what we'd done in the first 25 minutes, and. As I said, it could have quite easily come back and bit us on the backside, but fortunately enough, we had a chat at half time about what we needed to do. I felt we kept the ball much better in the second half, and the possession allowed us to build up a little bit slower, allowed the game to be a little bit more compact, which obviously allowed us to go and get the 3rd goal. And then I felt we see the game out very well, unfortunately, until the 94th minute there, where we gave a sloppy 2nd goal away, and luckily enough that was the end of the game. So I don't think we could have been going on for any longer than 3 or 4 minutes. Might have caused us a nerve or 2.
That was Adam Coombs' 32nd goal of the season, I think 17 in the league, quite a record. And that second half, as you say, could have been tough. They got back to 2-1 for half time. I think they'd won 8 of their previous 9 games. They're very much in form. So although it wasn't inspiring to watch the second half, we did a good job on them. Yeah,
that's all we can do at the moment. As I said, we are a little bit fragile. Victories have not come along, as I said, prior to Christmas. But as I've said all along, I believe the squad now is in good shape. I believe the players that we've brought in are good players. We've just got to get them into playing. We've got to get the shape right in terms of what personnel we play. We haven't got a game Saturday, so we'll train hard this week now, and hopefully we'll be prepared when we go to Paul next week. So it's one of them that we know we've had to make probably two or three changes too many at the Christmas period. But I felt where we was with the players that we'd lost in terms of Junior and Ryan Johnson and the injuries to George Casey and Tom Bender's suspension. It was always going to be difficult to replace those players, and we've had to replace sort of 4 or 5 of them at one stage, and it's just taken a little bit longer than expected in terms of bedding the whole lot down. Hopefully we can go on from here tonight and put a run together now for the remainder of the season.
No place in the starting line-up for Lee Chappell tonight. When he's been substituted in the last 3 games, Your captain's armband has gone to Scott Thomas, but you went for a start today for Louis Theophanis.
Yeah, it was just something that I've been thinking about since the weekend. Really, we spoke really at length on Sunday, Lee and myself, in terms of where we felt it had gone wrong. We went back to the start of the season. We went back to things that we were doing really well and things that was getting us some results, and just went back to a little bit of basics today. Went back to bringing the long throw back in, which we hadn't been doing for a while. We bought some free kicks we put into the box. We put some big boys in there, which we hadn't been doing for a while, and just changed it slightly. Went a little bit longer than we'd done. Took away a little bit of the passing that we'd been doing in spells, and we've seen it in some of the away games. Some of our passing, some of our ball retention has been very, very good. But today I felt we went a little bit back to front very quickly, and it worked first 20-25 minutes. Probably after that time when it was 2-0, we should have just controlled it a little bit better. We was probably trying to force it too much, but as we said, at the end of the day, we're playing with a little bit of a lack of confidence. We are a bit fragile, but it was nice to go and get those 3 points today.
Also, no place for Jack Saville today.
No, Jack was feeling a little bit under the weather. He might have he's got a little bit of maybe gastric or something like that. So it was just silly not to take a chance with him. He's just feeling a little bit under the weather. We put him on the bench. We probably could have started him, but we've did the last 90 minutes, and I feel we've got a fit Ben Martin, so we might as well play Ben Martin in terms of the personnel we have.
We mentioned Louis Theophanis as captain today, but it's 12 games in a row without a goal for him.
Well, I think he'll claim that last one, so you'll be able to take that off him. But at the end of the day, that's you go through spells like that as a forward, and you've got to say that he got 18 goals prior to the beginning of December. But he hasn't scored many goals, but our performances haven't been good enough in that period as well. So perhaps if we're playing better and the confidence is flowing, he'll get more chances. But I felt he put a good shift in today. I felt he worked extremely hard, and he played a major role in us obviously getting the third goal.
We mentioned also changes in the back four there, but it is 8 consecutive games conceding 2 goals or more. It gives you something to think about before we go to Poole a week tonight.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, we know we've got. It's not so much problems. It's just that we're just giving silly goals away. I just feel all over the park we can defend a little bit better than what we've done. We've given some very poor goals away on some of the set pieces we've not picked up correctly, and yet tonight the set pieces we defended it very well. But again, we've made poor decisions in the defensive side of things, and we've been punished for it. And the one thing in this league is if some of the forwards in there, you've already mentioned, Coombs has got 32 goals this year. That if you make mistakes, then you'll get punished. And at the moment we're making mistakes. And we are getting punished, but I've also got to look at that. We've scored, I think that's 58 goals this year already. So we've got lots of positives. We've got lots of forward-thinking players, and we've got to make sure that the forward-thinking players also think about the defensive duties, because, as you say, the most important thing is that we don't keep conceding goals. I mean, I think we was looking at it. We conceded 20 goals in 20 games. Now I think we conceded 19 goals in 7 or 8 games. So we know we've got some frailties in there. We brought some personnel in which will improve us. We've got to keep working hard on it, and hopefully we can put that stigma in terms of what we concede into bed very quickly.
We mentioned a couple of weeks ago going to Poole Town on a Saturday was going to be tough. That game got called off, but now going on a Tuesday night with a long journey, potential of getting stuck in traffic. That makes it even tougher.
That's all part of being in this league. At the end of the day, we can't do nothing about that. I think 2 weeks after that we've got to go to Truro. So it's all part of being in this league. You know what you do when you come into this league. There's always this time of the season. You're going to have games get called off. Unfortunately, it was probably Poole, which is one of the longest ones. Where the week before it could have been Hemel Hempstead, which had been a game on a Tuesday night, and we could have left home at 5:30. So it's something that we have to live with in this league. We know it's a big league to be in. The travelling's going to be quite far, and there has to be a commitment. There has to be a commitment from obviously the personnel within the football club. We'll plan and prepare properly, and hopefully we can pick up 3 points.
You started with a bit of a different system where you went back to, you sort of harks back to last season where you went with 4 very attacking players up front. Was that part of the going back to basics you were talking about? Yeah,
we'd fought long and hard since the weekend, and it's no lie that when we brought Sean Lucien on and Sam Merson on in some of the games, it has certainly turned the game, and it's been funny because we've had to bring them players on when we're chasing the game. So it's very easy to bring on 2 players when you're chasing the game. Where we've done very well against Maidenhead, against Concord, and against In between that one was the Hemel-Hempstead game. We've chased the game and got back into it and been fortunate enough to score late goals. Unfortunately, we didn't defend very well again in the last minute at Concord. But Sean and Sam has obviously come on and give us a little bit of difference in terms of stretching the game out, turning it more into a 4-2-4. But we have left ourselves a little bit exposed, and we've had to ride our luck on a couple of occasions at Concord on Saturday and certainly against Maidenhead. But it's something that we looked at today. We looked at the games, that, especially at home, that Sean started quite a few games. And he gives us a different option. The one thing about it, the game was very stretched out again today, and that's something that we have to be careful of, because as you saw last season when we played the Maidstones and the Suttons, they will punish us, and we have to be very careful from that side. The good teams in this league will punish us if we try and play too open, too expansive. But I felt today we needed to do it. It was something that we'd thought long and hard about since the weekend. It certainly had helped in the second half against Concord, it certainly helped in the second half against Hemel, and it certainly helped in the last 20-25 minutes here against Maidenhead. So it was something that we had to look at. It's obviously been great today because we've gone and won the game 3-2, but also we've got to be aware that we were very open at times. The game got stretched out too far and we could have caused ourselves a couple of problems. If no disrespect to Welling, if you're playing against some of the top teams here, we could have got punished today.
It was noticeable as well before the start in the warm-up. Sam Corcoran was out there warming up. He's been released by Hemel. Is there anything in that?
So we spoke to Sam for probably the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's been calling us to see what the situation was. He signed off his deal last week, I believe, with Hemel. I spoke to him before Saturday, spoke to him since Saturday. There's an opportunity there, but as I've said to Sam, this will be on my terms if I decide to bring him back. He decided to leave the football club in the summer. He's well aware of that, how I feel about that. I made a statement at the beginning of the year that I didn't think it would be right to bring somebody back who didn't want to be here. But Sam has been very apologetic in terms of that he should never have left the football club. He's been very apologetic in terms of he owes a few favours to a few people here. And he wants to come back. I've said I'll speak to him over the next couple of days. Nothing's concrete. I felt it was right that he come along tonight and did some training with us. We'll have a conversation between now and obviously the weekend and see where it takes us. But certainly I think where we are at the moment, a Sam Corcoran in our squad would be good for us. But as I said to you, it's got to be on my terms and on the club's terms and not on Sam Corcoran's terms. And hopefully we can get something done before next week. But as I say, that'll only happen over probably the next couple of days.
Thanks very much, Ian. Congratulations on returning to winning ways. Just a reminder then, Saints next in action a week tonight. That's on Tuesday the 7th of February, away to Poole Town. Kick off at School Lane in National League South is at 7:45.